Hey guys, Tad here from Attack of the Killer podcast with a video update for our Patreon subscribers. As always, thank you for supporting the podcast and subscribing to our Patreon page. We really appreciate anything you can give, and these videos are, I guess, a little bonus for you, our subscribers. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into this one. I'm excited. I got some new toys. Surprise, right? It's been a while, but little story behind it. I'll just go ahead and show you what I got first. Got McFarlane's Stranger Things, Ghostbusters, Dustin, Mike, Will, and Lucas Stranger Things box set here. Has all the kids from Stranger Things dressed as the Ghostbusters as seen in the last season. This is not something I would normally buy, but there's a sort of fun story behind it. I used to collect McFarlane stuff, and I still have plenty of McFarlane stuff that you might be able to see over my shoulder. They were sort of the kings years ago, and NECA took them over quite a while ago and beat them in articulation, sculpt, price, just about everything. McFarlane sort of stuck to like sports figures and Spawn figures for quite a few years. They've recently gotten back into the pop culture stuff with horror and sci-fi, video games, that kind of stuff. And their quality is not as good, not nearly as good. Their articulation's really quite ugly. All their figures are sort of stuck in static poses. I'm looking at them on the back of this box. Just not what they used to be, and they haven't kept up with the game. But anyways, it's been quite a while since I bought a McFarlane toy, so the story behind this, as you can see, there's a big yellow clearance sticker up here in the corner. As most of you are, I'm in several Facebook groups following hobbies that I am a part of, and several of them are toy groups. One of the toy groups I follow, I don't remember which one, someone posted that this set itself was on clearance at their GameStop, and their GameStop had it marked at $9.99. As you can see in mine, it's $54.97. But anyways, he was saying that, hey, this is $10 at my GameStop. You guys should hit it up. And so my natural first instinct, go online, check it out. Of course, they were sold out online, and you can check the store from there. And so I did, typed in my zip code, boom, popped up that Burlington had one in stock. So clicked it. You can have them put it on hold. I did that. They send you an email, says, your request has been put in. We will send a request to the store, and once the manager or whoever's working there gets it on hold, if they get it on hold, we will email you to confirm. So this is while I was at work, so I waited, and probably 5 minutes later, got a confirmation email. Boom, it's put on hold. It'll be here until tomorrow. So they're holding it for the rest of the day. So worked the rest of my shift, probably another couple hours. Drove straight from work out to GameStop and went in, and young kid was working, and I will skip some of the details, make a long story short, which I'm not very good at. But basically, he hadn't put this on hold. I don't know, he seemed pretty lazy. And luckily I found it on the shelf. It was sort of tucked way back in one of their clearance displays. It's like a cardboard sort of display that has a bunch of different clearance stuff they put in the back of the store. And I pulled it out, and I was pretty disappointed because it said $54.99, and the person online told me they got theirs for $10. But I thought, well, it's worth a try. Let's scan it. So went up and talked to the young employee, and he said, oh, you can't price match online. And I said, well, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking what the price of this is. And he said, well, it's $54.97. And I said, well, it's much cheaper online, and other stores are selling it for much cheaper, so I thought I would check. And he said, well, I can scan it, but, it's probably going to be the same price. So he scans it. He sort of looks at me, scans it again, maybe 2 or 3 times. Excuse me. Realizes, he looks up at me and says, well, I would buy it. And I said, yeah, that's what I'm here for. It's pretty cheap, right? And he goes, yeah. I said, it's $7, isn't it? He goes, yeah. And I said, yeah, it's $7 online. He goes, oh, well, sometimes I miss the price changes. They give me these huge stacks, and he held up a stack of these yellow tags. He goes, they print out a stack of these every morning for me to change, and I'm too busy to get to them. I said, okay, well, I'll take that. And he's like, you sure? You know, he's almost trying to guilt me into letting him have it. I said, yeah, I want it. You know, I put it on hold. You didn't hold it, but I take it. And then he rang it up, and, you know, I have my receipt here. It came to $747 after tax, which is pretty awesome. You probably won't focus on that. But on the back of the receipt is a survey, and he's like, you know, well, hey, you know, since I hooked you up, you want to fill out the survey? It really helps me out. And I'm like, you didn't hook me up. You didn't even do your job. You told me it was on hold. It wasn't. You didn't even bother putting it behind the counter. And then you try to guilt me when I did buy it because I figured out the price that you were too lazy to put on it. But anyways, I got this whole set that's originally, I think, $70 or something. I don't even know. This is a clearance price ticket. It doesn't have the original price on it, but I know, you know, if it's on clearance for $60, probably quite a bit more. But sort of cool set. Like I said, I would never buy this for full price. Probably wouldn't even have paid more than $20 for it. It's not bad. I would pay $5 a figure for it. I love Stranger Things. It's a little played out right now, and then the whole Ghostbusters thing didn't love. I mean, I would much rather have the ones on the back, but cool packaging. You know, the Stranger Things graphics are awesome. On the back, it shows the set you bought, and then the regular versions of, you know, Barb and Eleven, and yeah, the other characters. You know, list of names, cool window display. It's a cool box set in general, you know, especially for $7. But let's get this open, because I really don't even have anywhere to display it yet. But I do want to check these out, and every time I find a deal like this, I'm like, man, I can't wait to get home and make a video about it. Let's check it out. Okay, cool. Like I said, McFarlane is not in my best graces for quite a while. They used to be like the top-notch sculptors. They were the best, and then they started getting sort of lazy. Their stuff, a lot of their stuff was out of scale with each other, which is weird. They made like a really great Godfather action figure, and it was out of scale. It was like too small. That kind of stuff really irritates me. But they got, like, when they got back in the game, they started doing what they thought was a better option, and they started doing these 3D scans of the actors' faces when they got licensed to make action figures. And strangely enough, these 3D scans of people's faces don't look quite as good as the hand sculpted stuff. You know, it's hard to replicate an artist's work, but it just does not get all the fine details, and their faces look sort of flat. I mean, they look good. You can tell who they are, but it's mostly because the haircuts and the, you know, all the kids sort of have unique looks to them. But this thing has tons of twisty ties. Luckily, I brought my clippers so we can get this bad boy open. And like I said, this is a cool set. I like the idea. They're smart to get this thing out like this. I mean, the market for Stranger Things is ridiculous right now. New season coming out. So yeah, got that new plastic smell. These guys, I don't know, I have to put them up against other things, but they look like they're sort of big for what they are, which is, you know, they're kids, so they should be a little smaller than the adult figures if they're in scale. But then again, they're sort of getting to that teenage period where, you know, kids have growth spurts. I don't know. I'm going to put them up to something to see the scale here shortly. Jeez, man, there are a lot of zip ties. I thought I had them all, and I still have like 5. So here we go. I want to see. Okay, they're actually quite a bit shorter than the adults. You know, the sculpts are really decent. I don't like. I criticize NECA for their like diaper crotch type thing, but these are not much better. They've got these weird things so you can do this. Why would you ever want to do any of that with some of this stuff? I don't know. But the one thing that sort of, you know, turned me off of this box set is that, I don't know, when it comes down to it, yeah, they're Ghostbusters, which is a great, fantastic movie that I love. But all their outfits are pretty much exactly the same, minus their names, and obviously it's the Ghostbusters names. But yeah, they're all right. I just feel like in general their sculpts are so much more flat, I guess is the word I'm looking for. They're just not as detailed as NECA's newer stuff, and I think it's because of their 3D scanning. It sort of scans their face for features, the width of the nose and all that stuff, which is great. It gets the profile nice, but it doesn't get your wrinkles. It doesn't get, skin texture, hair texture. I don't even think the 3D scan does hair. I mean, I'm sure it does hair, but they probably pull the hair back so they can get the face, and then they go back in and sculpt the hair. And I don't know if they do the bodies or not, but for me, the likenesses, it's strange how you can't get a likeness just not quite as good on a 3D scan as you can a sculpt. Now, another cool little feature is that they each come with the proton packs, which looks like there's a ton of tape on those. So I'll just pull one out to show you. Try not to break it, but pretty detailed, nice little proton packs. It's sort of a bummer because until just recently, we haven't been able to even get action figures of the actual Ghostbusters. Diamond Select is finally doing a line. They're not bad, pretty good sculpts on them, but Diamond Select stuff just isn't quite as detailed as the NECA stuff. There's something just off a little bit on them. They're decent, like I said, but just not quite as good. But anyways, we somehow got the Stranger Things kids as Ghostbusters before we got Ghostbusters as Ghostbusters. Comes with a cool 80s video camera. That's probably my favorite accessory of this set. And then, like I said, everybody comes with their own proton pack. And I will give McFarlane credit on this. They did splurge a little bit and gave each person a different proton pack. They could have really skimped and just, use the same one for all of them, and I probably would never have noticed the difference. I like Ghostbusters, but I'm not a huge fanatic, and that's probably going to irritate some people, but yeah. So, yeah, they each come with a different proton pack, and then comes with little creature. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but it's the one that Toothless follows around. There you go. You can sort of see him there. I'll probably lose that in a split second because it's tiny. And comes with a set of bases with the Stranger Things logo on them, which I really appreciate. I wish NECA would include the clear figure stands on theirs. You can buy them separate, which, whatever, but it'd be nice to throw one in when I'm paying $30 an action figure. So, yeah, like I said, the sculpts are all pretty decent. They get the details on the clothes and stuff with the wrinkles. And the shoes are really detailed, very cool, 80s weathered. Even the hair and stuff, it's like you can tell that the faces and the likenesses are done with 3D scanning because they're so perfectly smooth. It's so just strange to me. But they also made sure to get the body types right. So, they're not all the same height, they're not all the same girth, I guess. But they did a decent job on these. I'm obviously for $6, heck yeah, or $7. I'm pleased with them. So yeah, that's the Stranger Things McFarlane Ghostbusters crossover box set and how I scored it for $7. If you have a GameStop in your area, sorry Brett, if you're watching this, I got the only one. But if you have one in your area, make sure to check it out. There are probably tons of great deals in there that you don't know about. I always recommend checking out the clearance stuff, having them scan it if you think it might be cheaper. And or you can just go online like I did, GameStop, and check availability without leaving your house. So yeah, like I said, I'm not really sure. I'm looking around to see if I even have any room for these guys. But I don't right now. We'll see where they end up. But that's my video for today. I'll be doing some more here shortly. Jason's been doing some great videos. Andy just got married, so he's taking a quick little break. Mike's been sick, so he didn't get in on a video this week, but I'm here. I've been sitting on this box set for a week now. I'm glad I got this video out to you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Attack of the Killer Podcast. See ya.